What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the two new upcoming stimulus packages, and the infrastructure package, as well as what is going on in the world today. And today, first, I'd like to thank today's video sponsor, HelloFresh. HelloFresh makes cooking at home fun, affordable, and easy to do with their pre-measured meal kits delivered right to your door. This was our first time trying any type of delivered meal kit, and it was absolutely amazing. The quality of the meals was restaurant quality or even better. All of the recipes we tried were delicious, and my wife couldn't believe that she made these dishes that, like I said, they're like 5-star restaurant dishes. With our busy schedule of filming and taking care of our son Julian, sometimes my wife finds it hard to make a whole prepared meal every night of the week. It was pretty awesome that everything she needed already came in the kit. It was pre-measured and ready to go. It was all fresh, and we didn't have to go to the grocery store to get everything we needed. It was such a time saver too. We love this so much, we're going to be signing up for more meals ourselves. We can't wait to start choosing our recipes and trying new dishes. HelloFresh has a special promotion for our community. Go to HelloFresh.com and put in the promo code It'sJimmy12 to get 12 meals free with your purchase, including free shipping. Thanks again to HelloFresh, and if you decide to try it, let me know what meals you pick and what you thought of them. Also, I'll put a link for HelloFresh down below in the description of this video and in the pinned comments so you can get the discount code directly through that link. Okay, next up, there is significant major developments on the physical infrastructure package and the negotiations between the Republicans and the Democrats over really the next two packages, the next stimulus package named the American Families Plan and the next physical infrastructure package named the American Jobs Plan, and how they kind of coincide with each other. In addition to this, we have a couple new stimulus programs just opened that are going to put money in millions and millions of people's pockets. So let's jump right in. Don't forget to hit the like button also. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. New videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss an episode. Okay, first up, we have a counter proposal from the Republicans over the American Jobs Plan, which is the next physical infrastructure package, which is the first half of the really the two main packages here. The second half is the next stimulus package known as the American Families Plan. The American Jobs Plan, the White House and the Democrats were initially at around $2.3 trillion and have come down to $1.7 trillion with a $500 to $600 billion reduction. Okay, the Republicans originally started off at only $568 billion and now have come up with a counter proposal to $928 billion. This is exactly what I've been saying, is that the Republicans seem to have an imaginary line drawn in the sand that is always around $1 trillion. We've seen this from the second stimulus check package as well. Originally, when through the negotiations, they got the Senate Republicans up, which then was headed by Mitch McConnell, and they were the leader of the Senate, so they could not pass bills without Republicans. It's a little different now because Democrats can pass bills without any Republican support through the reconciliation process, which is this bad boy right here. This is exactly how they passed the third stimulus check package without any Republican support at all. Not a single Republican from the House, the Senate, and they still passed that third stimulus check package bill anyways. And that's likely what we're going to see come for at least the next stimulus package, maybe the next physical infrastructure package as well. As you can see here, Senate Republicans today unveiled a $928 billion infrastructure proposal that includes $506 billion for roads, bridges, and major projects, and $98 billion for public transit systems. The latest offer is substantially more than the $568 billion infrastructure that was originally introduced by Republicans from Republican Senator Shelley Moore Capito, and it's still far short from the $1.7 trillion counteroffer from the Democrats and the White House that we got last week. Quote, Senate Republicans continue to negotiate in good faith, Capito told reporters. We have had a lot of good dialogue with the White House. We're trying to get that common goal of reaching bipartisan agreement as we talk with the Oval Office and the president. Now, the Republicans have reiterated that they do not want to get rid of any of the 2017 Trump tax cuts, or else a single Republican will not vote for this. There is some talk that if you watch this morning's video, you'll know that there's $2 trillion in unspent stimulus funds that can be repurposed for stimulus checks or stimulus packages, the infrastructure package, anything like that. And there's talk that the Republicans want to take $700 billion out of that $2 trillion and repurpose it to fund this part of this physical infrastructure package. Now, here's a very important thing that a lot of people don't talk about or really don't understand. And remember, I'm not the one that passes these bills, but this is kind of the reality. I don't have any sway over Congress or Senate, or if they pass money for certain groups of people, it's not me, right? I can only report to you what's going on and help you understand what's going on and what could be happening in the future. Here's a point that a lot of people do not understand, is that the first 6 stimulus packages, former President Trump actually passed 5 stimulus packages. We've gone over this in detail on the show, 2 of which had stimulus checks, but the other 3 didn't have checks. They had other type of stimulus provisions, like money for the Paycheck Protection Program, money for vaccines, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, and then the one passed underneath former President Biden. Who paid for those? The answer is nobody paid for those. It's just going on to the national deficit. No taxes were raised, so we passed 6 stimulus packages without raising any taxes at all. And if you know, the government already runs a deficit almost every single year. It's very, very rare that the government doesn't spend more than they take. And this is going to be very important here in just a second when we go over the brand new budget, which kind of has some shocking numbers in there. But number one, the government already spends more than they take in every year, whether it's Biden, whether it's Trump. And there was a 1 year, I think, that Bill Clinton didn't spend more than the government took in. But then after they recalculated and figured out what actually happened, that actually didn't happen. So it's very rare that the government doesn't spend more money than they take in. This would be the equivalent of you racking up more and more credit card debt every single month or every single year, and you never get out of debt. Now, the difference is the government prints their own money. They literally, it's the US dollar, they literally make money. Okay, so it's a little bit different than if you racked up credit card debt, although some people never pay it off and then they die and then it gets written off anyways. Okay, so number one, nobody paid for these past 6 stimulus packages. I think it's a 50-50 chance that we could possibly see these next 2 packages passed without any tax raises as well. Now remember, President Biden really he just kind of wants to raise taxes. He wants to raise taxes on corporations and the wealthy. He thinks that they should pay their fair share and that both of those groups of people do not pay enough. I would tend to agree with the corporations' point of that, because corporations like Amazon find all these tax loopholes, and there's multiple. There's like 100 out of the top 500 companies out of the S&P 500 in the United States that literally pay $0 in federal tax on some years. Some years they'll pay a little bit, but a lot of years they'll pay 0 or very, very little. In fact, there's some companies that actually get refunds or rebates or tax incentives of billions of dollars back from the government. So not only do they pay $0 in taxes, but they also get tax incentives from the government. So the government actually pays them billions of dollars. I totally agree with that. I don't necessarily agree with taxing rich Americans more unless they're billionaires. Billionaires can afford it, right? But if you're talking about like a hardworking American that's doing well, like the top tax bracket alone is 37.9%. Or 37%. Biden wants to raise it to like 40%. And then you have Social Security taxes, Medicare taxes, property taxes, state taxes. Like in California alone, I don't live in California, but the state taxes can be up to 13%. So when you take a 40% tax bracket and then you add 13% on for the state, you're at 53%. And then you have Social Security, Medicare taxes, you're over 60% already. And you haven't even paid your property taxes or any sales taxes or any other taxes. And I just personally feel that if the government's taking more than half of your money, then something's wrong. The government should not be making more money than you, the person out there physically making the money. But let me know if you disagree. However, there's a very good chance that they're not going to be able to raise any taxes because there's even some Democrats against tax raises. I think they're going to get creative with how they can get the money. Remember, there's about $1 trillion that's owed to the government every single year through the IRS and just enforcement. And one of the things the Democrats want to do is they want to hire 87,000 more IRS agents to go after what they call wealthy tax dodgers and to collect all the money that's owed to them, which could be provide an extra $1 trillion a year to pay for stimulus checks and stimulus packages. However, as we've talked about before on the show, there's a very controversial issue with that is that they also want to make it so the IRS can download all your bank account transactions for everybody in the United States. And if they allow the IRS to go in and download your bank account transactions and all financial transactions that you have without needing a warrant or anything like that, then just you best believe that they're going to be doing that for everybody in the United States. They'll just literally go to the banks and get all the information from the banks for millions and millions of people. So I really don't want to see that happen. I don't think it's a bad idea to get more IRS employees, create some more jobs, and also kind of get the tax that's owed to them. I think that's kind of fair. Now, if the Republicans and the Democrats can't come to a negotiation, then they're probably going to pass the physical infrastructure package with the reconciliation card, which means the Democrats can pass it on their own. In fact, President Biden actually made a very interesting statement. I think it was yesterday that he basically said, which is probably, I honestly don't think this was a good statement by him. I don't think if he's thinking this, he shouldn't have let the cat out of the bag. He basically said that anything, if they do get bipartisan support for this infrastructure package and they pass it with the Republicans, that anything that they want in this package and they don't pass, they're just going to include in the next package. So if I was a Republican and I heard that, I would be thinking, well, why would I vote for this package if you're just going to not compromise really, and you're not going to go with, hey, we're going to compromise and find a middle ground and only pass what we both agree on, if you're going to then take the other stuff and just pass it in the next package. So I think that that's probably going to turn a lot of Republicans off. I still think there's maybe a 40% chance they can pass this infrastructure package, the American Jobs Plan, which will create millions of jobs and be very good for our economy. It's going to get passed one way or another. The Republicans are either going to come on board or the Democrats are going to pass it with the reconciliation process. I think if they go the reconciliation process, there's really two plans. They can pass the infrastructure package and the next stimulus package called the American Families Plan, both with the reconciliation process, or they can combine them into one and only use one reconciliation card. The Senate parliamentarian has already ruled they can pass two more packages or two more bills this fiscal year up until October with the reconciliation process. Then they can do more after October. But I do want to say there's a little caveat there. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer found somewhere in the law, the law is tens of thousands of pages, right? That they can go back and amend budget reconciliation bills that were passed through the reconciliation process. They can go back and amend them more times just by a simple vote, a simple 50 to 51 votes in the Senate, which is what you need for the reconciliation process. So in a way, they kind of have an unlimited amount of bills they can pass with only your 50 to 51 votes, as long as they can get everybody on board. I think at some point when they go overboard, we'll have people like Senator Joe Manchin, Democratic senator from West Virginia, will be a thorn in their side. I definitely think he'll go along with probably the next one or two packages. He went along with the third stimulus check package. He'll kind of grandstand a little bit and say, well, I don't know. We're going to need to negotiate and we're going to need to, make sure everything's fair. But at the end of the day, like 99% of the time, he ends up voting with Democrats. Just like we hear about rhinos, Republican in name only, like Mitt Romney. 99% of the time, he still ends up voting with Republicans. And Senator Joe Manchin, who's not a rhino, but kind of a dino, he's kind of the same thing. Ultimately, they end up voting with their parties. So we'll have to see. And I think that this will really lead into the next stimulus package as well, whether or not they're going to combine them and vote for them, or if they're going to vote for them separately, or it's probably a 95% chance the next stimulus package, the American Families Plan, will be passed with reconciliation. I don't see very, very little possibilities of Republicans coming on board and voting for that. Remember, not a single Republican voted for the third stimulus check package. And that's really where we get all these groups of Democrats, including the House Ways and Means Committee, that has been urging President Biden to pass recurring stimulus checks. The House Ways and Means Committee is the group that actually writes the bill for the stimulus checks and the pass. And we have all these different Democrats that are now coming on board, and more coming by the week, saying that, yes, we not only want a fourth stimulus check to be in this stimulus check package, we actually have some Democrats calling for them to be in the next infrastructure package as well, which really only could happen if they pass that through reconciliation. But the more and more support that grows, remember, the Democrats are going to pass this on their own. So if Democratic lawmakers now support further stimulus checks and really these kind of monthly stimulus checks that they're pushing for of $2,000 per month, this bill from the Senate, Senator Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren, or this bill from the U.S. House of Representatives that is for a one-time $2,000 stimulus check, then followed by $1,000 monthly recurring payments. The Democrats are going to pass this next stimulus package probably on their own anyways, so they can really include anything they want in this next package. That's exactly what they did with the third stimulus check package, which had the largest stimulus checks yet to date, the $1,400 for adults, $1,400 for children, $1,400 for adult dependents. Plus, they have the child tax credit, which is going to send out monthly stimulus checks starting on July 15th, which is $300 per month for children under the age of 6 and $250 per month for children ages 6 through 17, for a total of $3,000 per year and $3,600 per year for children under the age of 6. And this is already passed for 1 year from the third stimulus check package. Because again, Democrats really could put anything they want in that package. And they're probably going to do so for the next stimulus package. They want to increase these monthly child tax credit checks, to continue to go on till 2025 or even later. Now, I want to announce a couple new programs that have just come on the block. New York has announced a brand new rent assistance or rent relief, or rental assistance, that is going to be starting on June 1st. So mark your calendars if you're from New York. As you can see here, New York's COVID rent relief program will begin accepting applications on June 1st, Governor Cuomo announced on Tuesday. The rent assistance program, approved as part of the state budget and covered by $2.7 billion in federal funds. So remember, when we talk about the $350 billion that states and cities and counties are getting, here is a perfect example of it. New York State is going to be using $2.7 billion of their federal relief funds, the $350 billion, to use for rental assistance. So if you're one of those people that said, our state will never do this, our governor is going to keep all the money and line their pockets, if you said that about New York, well, you'd be wrong, because you've seen it there in black and white. They're using $2.7 billion of this money for rent assistance, and it opens on June 1st. So remember, all 50 states are getting money. If I didn't mention your state, like Alabama or Arkansas or any state like that, it's just that we haven't seen information about it yet, or I don't know about it yet. If you know about any new plans that are coming out for your state, please comment them down below in the comment section and give those comments a like, so that they rise to the top, so I see them and the people from our community see them. But anyways, this rent assistance program that is $2.7 billion for New York State will assist households behind on their rent and that have experienced financial hardship, or those that are at risk of homelessness or housing instability and that earn below 80% of the area median income. I believe you only have to qualify for one of these, not like all of these. So there's like 4 different things mentioned there. Once approved, eligible households receive up to 12 months of past due rent. Absolutely amazing. So if you have $1,000 a month rent and you get this is literally going to be up to $12,000 in your pocket. So this is huge, huge amounts of money. And these are the type of programs that we're going to be seeing for all 50 states. You can also see here the state is gearing up to distribute $800 million to small businesses for a total of $5,000 to $50,000. Up to 330,000 businesses are potentially available. In addition to this, the city of Chicago has launched an $80 million emergency rental assistance program from their use of the $80 million in federal relief funds to pay for our program. So if you're one of those people and you're from Chicago, our mayor or our governor will never give the money. Again, it's going to be happening in all 50 states. Have some faith. Each state's going to be doing different type of programs. Some are doing just stimulus checks to low income people. Some are doing mortgage and rental assistance like we're seeing here. So the city of Chicago is going to be using $80 million in federal relief funds. And this is just probably just the money going to the city of Chicago, not necessarily the money going to the state. So on Monday, it says Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, which is a pretty interesting, pretty awesome name there, has already opened applications for this emergency rental assistance program. So if you're from Chicago, you probably should go to Google after this video and type in Chicago Emergency Rental Assistance Program, and you'll probably find a link to apply for this. In fact, I actually found the link right here real quick. It's Emergency Rental Assistance Program Chicago. You'll probably find it just by Googling it. If not, I will put the link down below in the description. You can see here the income limits are $52,000 if you're a household of one, 60,000 if you're a household of two. So I'll put a link down for you below in the description. So this is two major programs. I mean, Chicago, millions of people. New York State, even many, many more millions of people. I think New York is like the second or third most populated state. We know that California, the most populated state, has announced a $600 stimulus check for up to 2/3 of all Californians, which is like over 25 million people. So yeah, we're already starting to see some major programs announced. I'll keep you up to date on all 50 states, how to apply for these, when to apply. Make sure you're watching the channel. Share this video with your friends and family so they know about these programs as well. In addition to the fourth stimulus check, if you've been watching, there's a lot more than just the stimulus checks. There's all these additional programs that we go over on the channel that could put money in your pocket, your family's pockets, or your friends' pockets. So make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. After subscribing, click the bell icon to all notifications to get reminder notifications when we go live every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss an episode. You can click this video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I've already had dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income by selling products on Amazon FBA, and I teach them how to do that. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.